If you're planning to disappear into the backcountry for days on end, you'll want a bikepacking bike built to go the distance. And this video will show you the best of the best. We'll be cutting through the marketing and focusing on what really matters. A frame geometry that's tuned for stability and comfort, and components that are optimized for the demands of bikepacking. We'll cover the full range of off-road bike types, from fat bikes to full suspension rigs, with each built for different terrain. Along the way, I'll break down the key trade-offs so you can zero in on the best setup for your needs. I've used my Bikepacking Bike Buyer's Guide to compare and select all of these bikes. This guide goes into every detail about bikepacking bikes, before allowing you to compare over 320 current models at the back of the book. Don't worry about it going out of date. It's updated yearly for free. And if your riding leans more toward paved roads and smooth gravel, check out my dedicated gravel bike video linked below. Okay, so how did I narrow down the best bikepacking bikes? I started by evaluating the frame geometry of each bike in my buyer's guide. My focus was on bikes that provided stable handling and a more upright riding position than typical. Some might say an upright riding position holds you back, but if speed is your goal, aero bars are the real game changer. They can increase your average speed by around 10% while taking pressure off your hands and engaging different muscles. Another important feature of a bikepacking bike is low climbing gears. These help you spin up hills more efficiently, especially when you're loaded down with gear. I use a measurement called gear inches to compare the climbing gears on different bikes. It's calculated by dividing the front chainring size by the rear cog size, then multiplying by the wheel diameter. But the easy way is to just calculate them on gearcalculator.com. For off-road bikepacking, I'm looking for anything under 20 gear inches, with 16 to 18 being the sweet spot. Don't worry, you never have to convert gear inches into anything, and you can directly compare them. For example, 18 gear inches is a 10% lower gear than 20 gear inches. Wide tyres are another important feature, as they provide better traction, absorb rough terrain more effectively, and make for a more comfortable ride. To narrow things down, I've only included bikes that can accommodate a 2.4-inch or wider tyres. You might assume that wide tyres are slower, but it's actually the rubber compound and sidewall construction that have the biggest impact on rolling speed. Research shows that on rough gravel, wider tyres are the fastest choice, and they even hold their own on smoother gravel too. Next, I checked that each bike had the mounting points for all kinds of gear, so that you've got the maximum flexibility when setting up your rig. The bikes I've chosen are all reasonably light for their intended use. Some bike models do tip the scales at up to 16 kilograms or 35 pounds, but that's hardly a drawback if it means you're getting a stronger, stiffer frame or features that boost overall capability. Just remember that your bike has to carry not just you, but all your gear and food too. And lastly, I've filtered down the options so that you get the most performance for your money. Okay, so some of these bikes are on the pricier side, but they also offer features that I think genuinely enhance your bikepacking experience. If these bikes are out of your budget, consider hunting down older versions. Or you could use what you've learnt in this video to find a comparable model on the used market. Right, let's sink our teeth into the best bikepacking bikes currently available. If you're planning to ride through soft sand or deep snow, fat bikes are hard to beat. Their oversized tyres spread your weight across a larger surface, keeping you from sinking and making backcountry terrain feel much more manageable. The RE Kings Peak stands out to me not just for its lightweight build and competitive pricing, but for how well it's designed. The slacker than usual head tube angle provides added confidence on steeper descents. There's ample seat tube room for a long dropper post, and the low standover height makes dismounting in deep snow much easier. The frame also includes plenty of mounting options for bottles and gear, including on the top tube and beneath the down tube. Although it can accommodate massive 5-inch tyres on 26-inch wheels, Ari has opted for slightly narrower but larger diameter 27.5-inch wheels, which provide better rollover performance on rocky and icy surfaces. Component-wise, it's an impressive package for the price, with a Shimano SLX 1x drivetrain and quality parts throughout. Plus, Ari's 30-day guarantee shows real confidence. You can ride this bike on your local trails, and if it's not for you, you can send it right back. Dropping down in tyre size brings us to bikepacking setups with 3-inch tyres, which are known as plus bikes. These bikes still provide good flotation on soft terrain, but offer reduced rolling resistance on firmer ground. 3-inch tyres hit the sweet spot for rugged routes like the Baja Divide, where they can glide over rough dirt roads and sandy riverbeds. If you've been following my bike journey across Africa, you'll already know I'm a big fan of this tyre width. For a straightforward yet capable bike in this category, I'd recommend the Surly Krampus. The frame comes loaded with mounts for virtually any setup, for front or rear racks, cargo cages, bottle holders, and dynamo lights. It's also full fender compatible, and you can even opt for a suspension fork if you're willing to add a bit of weight and maintenance in exchange for better traction and a smoother ride. The 40mm internal rim width is perfect for 3-inch tyres, but this bike can also accommodate 2.4 or 2.6-inch tyres if you wanted a more zippy bike. The only drawback is the relatively low frame stack height, though this can be addressed with riser handlebars to help achieve a comfortable hand position. If my videos have persuaded you that internal gear hubs are a worthwhile investment, the Tumbleweed Prospector is a great bike option. It's the priciest bike on this list, but nearly half the cost comes from the roll-off 14-speed internal gear hub. This robust hub has more gears and a wider gear range than a typical 1x drivetrain, all while keeping the critical components sealed from the elements. That means minimal maintenance, less cleaning, and fewer gear adjustments. I think it's ideal for long adventures where durability is key. What sets the Prospector apart is the versatility with tyre sizes. It can run 3-inch tyres on both 29 and 27.5-inch wheels, and even accommodate 27.5 by 3.8-inch tyres, pushing it right into fat bike territory. This flexibility lets you customize your setup based on the terrain. Like the Surly Krampus, it's suspension fork compatible, and it has mounts for racks, cargo cages, and fenders. But unlike the Krampus, the Prospector offers a taller stack, making it easier to achieve an upright riding position. The main drawback is the price, but don't worry, I've got a Gearbox-equipped bike that's much easier on the wallet. The Priority Bruiser is an off-road bikepacking rig built around a 12-speed pinion gearbox. These fully sealed gearboxes are renowned for their durability and are often seen as the main alternative to the roll-off hub. Pinion gearboxes offer some key advantages over roll-off hubs, including a broader gear range, longer service intervals between oil changes, and a whisper-quiet operation. However, they also come with some trade-offs: larger jumps between gears, added weight, and a slightly reduced efficiency. If you'd like to know more, I've got a video that compares them head-to-head. I'll link it below. Instead of a traditional chain, the Bruiser uses a belt drive, which essentially eliminates the need for cleaning or lubrication. In the right conditions, belt sprockets can last over 30,000 kilometers. That's 3 to 4 times the lifespan of a typical chain drivetrain. The Bruiser frame features a stable mountain bike geometry and fits up to 2.8-inch wide tyres. As you'd expect from a capable bikepacking bike, It includes all the mounting points needed for racks, cages, and accessories. And at $2,500, the Bruiser offers incredible value, especially when you consider that pinion gearboxes alone retail for about $2,000. If all these steel frames and gearbox drivetrains have you thinking, that's way too heavy for me, then the Scott scale might just be what you're looking for. It's nearly 5 kilograms or 11 pounds lighter than the Priority Bruiser. Designed with weight savings in mind, the scale features an aluminium frame, a carbon fork, and a lightweight wheel set. It accommodates 2.4-inch wide tyres, which suit fast gravel roads while handling flowy single track with ease. At under €1,700, the scale offers impressive value. The only real drawback is the cable headset routing for the rear derailleur, which can increase cable friction and slightly affect shift performance. There's a reason the Salsa Cuddy is popular with riders completing the 4,400km Tour Divide Ultra Race. It's light, and the upright riding position and wide tyre clearance make it comfortable over long distances. Unlike many drop bar bikes, the Cuddy's tall front end makes it easier to stay in the drops, which unlocks more hand and body positions for long days on the bike. I like that the long seat tube yields larger volume frame bags than most bikes, and the direct mount system protects your paint while giving your bike a clean, streamlined look. The Cuddy is also one of the few drop bar bikes that can ride up the same gradients as mountain bikes. The 20-inch climbing gear will be low enough for most situations, but it's easy to swap in a 32 or 34 tooth chainring if you need more climbing prowess. Another solid drop bar bike for tackling steep climbs is the Kona Sutra LTD. It's a bit heavier than the Cutthroat, but it trades weight for increased durability and better downhill capability. That extra capability comes from some smart design choices. A larger front rotor for added braking power, a low frame standover and long dropper post to keep your center of mass low, and wide handlebars with a short stem to provide the best steering on a loaded bike. A nice detail is the left GRX shifter, which is cleverly wired to control the dropper post. The Sutra also offers good tyre clearance and is fully outfitted with mounts for bottles, bags, and all your gear. If you're after a bike that's as light and fast on dirt roads as the Cuddy, but offers greater trail capability, the Cube Reaction is a top choice. This sub-11 kilogram carbon hardtail comes fitted with a 100mm suspension fork that can be locked out via a lever at the bars. Beyond just improving comfort, a suspension fork boosts traction and control, giving it a clear advantage over rigid setups. The trade-off, however, is maintenance. RockShox recommends servicing the lower legs every 50 hours and performing a full overhaul every 200 hours. What makes the Reaction especially appealing for bikepacking is its taller stack height, offering a more upright and comfortable riding position compared to most race-oriented hardtails. It also features a lower climbing gear than the previous few bikes, making it more capable when the road pitches up. That said, if you're aiming to tackle more technical trails or prioritize descending performance, a slacker bike with more suspension travel will be a better fit. The Salsa Timberjack is significantly longer and slacker than the Cube Reaction, with a frame that pushes the front wheel 74mm farther forward. This geometry enhances high-speed stability and makes it much less likely that you'll pitch over the handlebars. The Timberjack features longer suspension travel, a shorter stem, wider handlebars, more powerful brakes, and a long dropper post, all of which contribute to excellent control and confidence on rough trails. The trade-off compared to the Cube is the extra 4 kilograms that you'll now be lugging around. For under $2,000, the Timberjack offers unbelievable value with a reliable Shimano SLX drivetrain and powerful MT420 4-piston brakes that, in my experience, have great power and a snappy brake feel. The Priority 600 HXT shares a similar frame geometry and suspension travel to the Timberjack, making it equally capable on technical trails. The pinion gearbox has a key advantage over a derailleur on a mountain bike. There's no exposed mechanism to get damaged by rocks, branches, or crashes. And best of all, the gears will never skip or be misaligned. The 600 HXT features an upgraded version of the pinion gearbox compared to the Bruiser. It uses an electronic trigger shifter that delivers lightning-fast gear changes in just 0.2 of a second. More importantly, this gearbox can shift smoothly under heavier pedal loads by precisely timing shifts to occur at the top of your pedal stroke. The rest of the build is equally well thought out. Powerful TRP 4-piston brakes offer excellent stopping power, and the WTB wheels and dropper post round out a bike that can hit the trails straight out of the box. For rough terrain and all-round mountain bike fun, a full suspension bike is very hard to beat. These bikes let you handle highly technical terrain while still using light, fast-rolling tyres. This makes them the ideal setup for blending gravel road efficiency with trail versatility. Personally, I also find them the most enjoyable option for single track. One model that stands out this year is the Canyon Lux Trail. It offers 120mm of front travel and 115mm in the rear, with a convenient 3-position lockout switch on the handlebar to firm up the suspension on the fly. There's enough room in the frame for a custom frame pack or 2 water bottles, and it comes equipped with a precise shifting Shimano SLX 12-speed drivetrain and a long dropper post. There we have it. That's the best bikepacking bikes for 2025. But remember that for every bike here, multiple bikes from my Bikepacking Bike Buyer's Guide came very close. To learn more and compare over 320 different bikes from different regions, make sure to get yourself a copy via the link below. I'll see you next time.